now, happy vibes, my friends. Welcome back to my podcast where I believe in spreading killer vibes that light you up and give you that kick in the ass to craft the life you wish to live. This sacred space is dedicated to the lovers of all things business, travel, and lifestyle. Hey, it's about time you get the scoop on the latest vibes, so let's get to it. Guys, today I'm super excited because I am going to introduce you to a woman that I found very inspirational the day I met her. Someone who has a vision that is so grand and so big that I think you guys need to know about this, and I need to share her with you all. Her name is Michelle Puckett. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Awesome. And so Michelle Puckett, you are the owner at Designer Diva.
Correct.
Yes. And you've had Designer Diva now for how many years?
Going on 16 years.
16 years. And your business, a little bit of how I came to know you is because as a stylist, I'm always looking for, pieces for my clients. And I style so many different clients, so many different sizes. Some want colors, some want neutrals. And you have everything at your location. So that's one place that I do love to come and, and I pick out some of the best things from here because I know I'm going to find something for my clients here when I come to Designer Diva. So I wanted to share you with everybody because I feel like not everybody knows that you're like a little gem in a neighborhood and it's a little hidden. You're in a warehouse, but I think the minute people walk in, they'll notice that there's a lot of love in here. There's a lot of thoughtfulness. There's flowers, there's pink. And I noticed that you really, really put a lot of care into your location. And I think that's important for other people to know because I don't think it's so hard for us to find these places, and it shouldn't be so hard for us to find you.
Exactly.
Now, my listeners know about you. So you started with a nonprofit yourself because there was an accident that happened.
Yes.
Many years ago.
Right. 18 years ago, my son was in a hit and run motorcycle accident, and it was just a miracle he's alive. It's left him partially paralyzed. However, he's, just as strong as I am and moved forward in his life in California. But one day I was sitting there and I was feeling sorry for myself. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. And a little petal fell down in front of me. And it's from a plant called the butterfly vine. So I picked it up, I painted it, put a magnet on the back of it, and we sold them, and that's how we survived. So later on, years later, probably about 2011 to 13, we helped about 183 businesses start and form, and we did grants for them and helped them.
What kind of businesses were they? Were they little mom and pop organizations or what?
Some of them had dreams, nonprofits.
Okay, nonprofits.
A lot of them were nonprofits who just wanted to give back, and they really had a good heart, and so we helped 187 and did in-kind services of $228,000 for them to 2013. And so I had found this little place in Sugar Land, Designer Diva Resale.
Okay.
And so my son and I were wanting to give back somehow.
Yes.
So we bought the little place there, 1,700 square feet in Sugar Land. And a year later, we moved it to Siegler and Westheimer to 8,500 square feet. But during this time, we went ahead and we had Blooming Butterflies formed, and it backdated to 2010.
So it's your nonprofit, and it's a charity organization that gives back.
Yes.
Like you said, to other, organizations, other nonprofits, or to people who need basics.
Well, we help 12 individually owned battered women and children's shelters. I personally take all the clothes to them on the weekends, each location. And then we also help the endangered monarch butterflies. That's the reason for the plant.
For the plant,
So now we give those away as just encouragement to others to help each other.
Where did this desire to help others come from for you?
I feel it was since I was a little girl.
Yeah.
I would always go and help neighbors, and I have always wanted to help. I always help people clean out their house or someone elderly. I just always had a desire to help people.
And I noticed that you structured the business here as also a part of it as a nonprofit as well.
Yes.
Why is that so important for you? Why is it so important that there's that nonprofit component in your business?
Well, we always pray that people will donate monetary, and I really haven't asked, for monetary donations.
Okay.
So I have not, because I asked not. So we're going to work on that, and this is one reason for the nonprofit, and plus the grants.
Okay.
So I've been a grant writer since 1995, and I'm focusing on my grants now, and I'm not writing for others at this time. So we can get everything that we need to help others do this. So,
so proceeds from the sales here, some of it goes to charity and some of it goes to, I'm assuming, the upkeep of the business, and the expenses here.
And the consigners.
And the consigners.
We have close to 20,000 consigners.
Wow, that's amazing.
And so we 50-50 split, and we do a 6-month consignment with them. And then if they're not high-end items, then they donate them to Blooming Butterflies after 6 months.
Okay.
And then we try to sell them, and then at the end, we do once a month. We call it a garage sale, but it's not. It's free clothes. We give it away to communities that mail items back to their country, help their family out that can't afford anything. Before, we've been selling them for $1, but God directed me in a different way. So we're giving them away each month now.
Yeah, by the way, I came to one of those. Yeah, and I found a few things that were really awesome. And
I'm so glad.
Yeah, so, and when you said, oh, you can take it, I was like, what? Oh, okay. Are you sure? I mean, it just didn't seem right, but that's amazing though, that you have that component, and that's a very important piece of your business for you. And so why the move over here now? Because I know you just moved over here to the Spring Branch area.
Yes. So we were on Westheimer. That was the second move since I purchased the business. And it was 20,000 square feet.
Yeah.
And so the lease was up right during the middle of the pandemic on June the 30th. And the property manager wanted to go up on our rent from $20,000 to $60,000 a month. Well, it was hard enough doing the 20,000.
Right.
So we had to move quickly. And I had found the spot back in May, because I live 2 streets over here in this industrial part. And so I secured it, and then we moved in, but landlord didn't have the warehouse ready. So we had to move to the back half of his building, all 20,000 square feet into 15,000 square feet.
Wow.
Yes, it was wow, all right.
Yeah, it sounds like an undertaking. And does anybody help you with that, or do you volunteers?
During the pandemic, we couldn't hire anyone because nobody would come out, movers or anything. So we had to do it all ourselves. We had rented 2 U-Haul trucks, and I stayed up 3 days and 3 nights in a row with no sleep. Most of my team stayed up just as long as I did. And we packed up that 20,000 square feet, and we crammed it up into the back half of the building. The landlord did not have the building ready July the 1st, so we didn't get to start setting up the warehouse until end of January.
Okay.
And so during that time, I was like, we got to do something, because we're not going to be able to fit all this in there, because the landlord wanted half of the warehouse for his items.
Yeah.
So I came up with themed rooms in the 15,000 square feet.
Okay.
So we have like vacation wear, rhinestone and gem jewelry, high-end jewelry, ooh la la lingerie, wild wild divas, and a huge gown room that can be used for a fashion show. Which,
by the way, I found the most amazing gowns.
Oh, so glad.
Oh, I was just so excited because I was looking for I was actually looking for a birthday, and my birthday's in July, but I think about things far ahead, and I found the most perfect dress, and I can't wait to take a picture in it.
And we do have a Parisian seamstress on site.
Yes, which, by the way, I'm going to see her so that she can make it perfect for me.
She's so good. So I'm really blessed to have her for 8 years now.
Unbelievable. And it sounds like what you're doing here, the people buy into your mission as well. It seems like they have to, if they're here, they have to be a part of that mission with you. And lend themselves. I noticed that a few of them are volunteers and others work here with you, but it's very mission driven. It's very purpose driven for you.
Yes, it is. And because I want to help, and I want us to make people happy when they come in. My team is the best customer service, and I have experienced that all weekend at other stores, and I'm really thankful for how kind and loving my team is, and how helpful they are. And they have stuck by my side when something had to be painted, or floors scrubbed, or toilets cleaned, or dirt shoveled. They got out there and did it with me.
And, I think that's one of the hardest things as a business owner is to find employees who can love the business as much as you do, or come in and enjoy it as much as you do, or come in with the same enthusiasm. Because a lot of times we don't come into our business enthusiastic at all. There's too many problems. There's too many things going on around our circle. We're constantly putting out fires. I had my own business for a long time. My husband's had a business. So I feel like we're always either people managing or employee managing, or we're putting out fires all day long. Like sometimes we're just like, why in the world did I open this business?
Yeah. Crawling a little ball.
So what do you go to give you that motivation to continue and to push forward and to say, it's going to be fine, it's going to work out?
Well, my motivation, one is first, God first. I have to just really state that, because I could have just, said, okay, I'm done, gone away in the country and play with my flowers and butterflies. But I cashed in all my retirement, all savings, everything that I had.
Okay.
And I said, okay, we're going to rebuild this the way God has shown me how to do it, the vision he gave me. And every single piece, every light, every curtain hanging, every detail of the store, it was researched and researched and researched until I had a confirmation this is how it's going to be done.
Okay.
And so we've got it up and going. We'll soon have a garden in the backside here for Blooming Butterflies Enchanted Gardens to help the endangered monarchs, and sell all kind of plants.
And so that's part of what I wanted to talk to you about, because, nowadays slow fashion is starting to become more, I'm not saying on trend, but it's something that's happening a lot more, because people after COVID started to realize that we really don't need that many things, and we can actually reuse what we already have. And I think resale stores are starting to become, one of those places that we go to instead of always buying more things that are new or fast fashion, or that are made maybe, not in the best conditions, that people are, especially younger women, are really taking stake at what they're doing with their fashion nowadays, and how they can contribute to the earth and to the planet. And that was a conversation you and I had at the beginning, because I'm very big also on sustainable fashion, on, reusing and, finding investment pieces. So is that also an important component for you, that we reuse so that we can also contribute? Like you said, I guess the conversation we had was, for our earth, our planet,
Yes, because the largest waste we have are clothing.
Yes.
I mean, it's $17 trillion.
Yes.
That was 2 years
it's
ago.
Huge.
And so to recycle, upcycle clothing, we've done many fashion shows with the Art Institute. And they have actually taken clothing and upcycled them, and they're awesome when they finish.
It's amazing what they can do with it.
And we even take like buttons, and we remove zippers, and we try to do as much as we can with damaged clothing.
Yeah.
So it doesn't go back to the waste field, because it's hurting our environment horribly.
It is. And I think it's such an important, thing that we do mention that for you, because for example, a lot of the women that I, help, they're very concerned, that they need to be doing something that's also helpful, not just purchasing and consuming, clothing. And I think luxury brands are now starting to come around to becoming, more like, hey, it's okay,
and that's what
reuse it.
We try to make it reasonable, to buy designer items, and a fraction of the cost. And we try to encourage women to clean out their closets. Sitting up there getting dusty, or maybe not dusty, but it's just sitting up there not being used. Let someone else buy it, and then you make some money. You don't get rich off of it, but you'll make some money, and you can use it for something else. And then another person can actually enjoy that item instead of just sitting up there not using it.
And you know what I think? Every piece also has a story.
It does.
Because that story, that woman used maybe she wore it for her son's graduation. Maybe she wore it for her daughter's wedding. Every piece has a story, and it carries a little bit of that person, don't you think?
Oh, it does. I actually listen to a lot of the consigners. For instance, I had this one lady. She researched me. She called me. She has some custom-made Rick Rageous jackets.
Okay.
And they're absolutely gorgeous. And they run anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 to $7,000.
Wow.
So she had 5 of them, and she said, "I only want you to sell them for me."
Unbelievable.
And that's what I've been doing. And she's very happy. I take really good care of them.
So you develop trust with your clients, basically. And you have a very interesting price structure.
Yes.
Did you develop that yourself? Is that how you came? Can you tell me a little bit about how you came up with that? Because I know there's a certain amount of either you purchase pieces, for example, if something is priced from $1 to $99, it's 90% off.
Yes.
100 to 149 is 75% off. How did you come up with that?
Well, we wanted to do a 90% off of almost all retail prices. So we had to come up with a way that we can sell it, but everyone would get a discount.
Yeah.
So we broke it down to say, okay, so under $99, if it's $98, you get it for $9.80. And it was just a structure of pricing that came to me, and it has really worked.
Has it?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Because I can negotiate a little bit with the prices along with the sales, but still at the same time keeping the consigners, happy, or trying to keep them as happy as I can.
Right. So who manages 20,000 consigners?
I do.
You do?
Wow. I do all the, try to do all the marketing. Or website's not up to par yet.
I was just going to ask you, do you have an online store where people can see what you have?
Well, we did.
Okay.
But there's so much of fraud and fake IDs, and if they steal it from international, then you really won't get your money back. No insurance is going to cover that. So I'm not all about selling online.
Okay, so you don't trust the process of online.
I don't.
Okay.
And plus, I feel responsible for the consigner's items. And I really do the best I can. In our contract, we do say we're not responsible for any loss, theft, or damage.
Yeah.
But I don't want to always fall back on that. I want to say, hey, we're going to take care of your items and do this to the best of our ability.
Yeah, and I sense like you carry a heavy burden on yourself and in the trust that those clients place on you, and you really take it very much to heart.
I really do.
Yeah, I can tell.
When a consigner's upset during this pandemic, it's been really hard. And we may have had 7 that it just burdens my heart that they would be upset because we really have extended contracts. Some items were damaged, but we tried to make everyone happy.
Yeah, and that's difficult. That's extremely difficult. I don't think you ever accomplish that. Yeah,
I won't.
As much as you try. And so when people bring in, for example, luxury items, who authenticates the things? Do you have somebody that works on that particular part?
Well, if you bring in items that have to be authenticated, you will need to have a receipt or the card. And then we have 3 people that can notice or see what the authentication is of that item.
Okay.
But we're not professionals to authenticate.
Okay.
Any kind of designer bag, especially handbags.
Right.
So, but if they are replicas, we do put replica on the tag.
Okay, so you do sell some that are,
Just some, not a lot.
Okay.
Because they're nice replicas. And so, but the new bags that are designer bags, used bags, they do have the authentication cards and the seal inside them.
Okay. Do the bags also, I noticed that they have like a different set of discounts.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, they're not 500 and above. Then it's 25% off. And then sometimes we can work.
I see that. Yeah.
With the discount.
Okay.
Because we're trying to sell them, not hoard them and keep them.
Right. And so when you're looking for more clientele, because I want them to know a little bit more about what you offer here, do you offer styling services? Like, are there any curated services that you offer?
I have 2, probably 3 wonderful ladies that can style.
Okay.
put together what looks good on.
So they can make an appointment with them and have them maybe do some personal shopping for them?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes. And they can walk in, too. We're not to where we have to have an appointment to be styled.
Awesome.
We're here to serve.
Okay, very good. Yeah, there's a lot of, people that are looking to have more of a personalized service, and sometimes they walk in and they're overwhelmed by too many things.
Right.
So it's nice to know that you do have people that can help them and guide them.
Okay.
I know Maria was here one time and I told her what I needed, and she goes, "Oh, I know where to take you." And so she took me to the other area where all the gowns are. Mm-hmm. And I was like, "Oh my God, I need to live here." Yeah. And you know what? I think what I really want us to really, emphasize is that when you're coming here and you're shopping with a bigger purpose in mind, and there's more going on than just a piece of clothing. There's a mission behind it. There's a purpose behind it. And some of my clients, for example, they only shop, resell because they don't want to consume more fast fashion. So this is a great place for them to come and check out, and they can see that there's a huge variety of things that they can find. I mean, there's a bridal section as well.
Well, it's not a really bridal gowns per se as a white, ivory. Right. But we do have some gowns that can be used as bridal. The bridal gowns are really a hard sell. And because usually they want that unique piece. So what Mona, our Parisian seamstress, can do, she'll take a gown apart and put it back together the way the bride has dreamed of her dress. Okay. And it's really awesome, the service that she provides.
Beautiful, restyling that whole thing. And it's not easy to find people who have that skill, by the way.
Yes, and the patience.
And the patience. It is. It's not easy. It's very, very difficult. And I know that for you, I mean, how do people, if they want to come and consign with you, do they have to fill out some paperwork with you? How do they go about doing that with you?
Okay, so we do have on the current website, designerdivallc.com. Mm-hmm. They can click on consign. You do have to have an appointment, so I haven't been able to change no appointment necessary. But on there is the 6-month contract they can read over, and then the policy on how we need the items brought in now that COVID pandemic hit. So we have to have them cleaned, washed or dry cleaned. Mm-hmm. And the shoes, sanitized inside, and we do it again anyway. But they can read that, and then when they come in for their appointment, no more than 50 items at a time, because we want to get them entered in the same day and put out on the floor. Okay. So we don't want to wait 2-3 weeks to get them out.
Yeah, of course.
And then they'll get a drop-off sheet and a contract.
Okay.
They'll get a contract, and then we'll get an inventory listing when they finish. Okay. And they check on their account every month after the 21st via email only. Okay. Yeah, we don't want to do the phone calls. We have new processes for that so that we can give them that one-on-one attention with the email. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then do you pay them like direct deposits, or do they come and pick up checks, or? They'll come in. They'll check on their account every month after the 21st, and a check either will be here for them or will roll over to the next month if they don't have at least $30 in their account to print a check.
And how many pieces can someone consign at one time?
No more than 50 items.
Wow, 50.
Yes. We used to do 200 and 300.
Yeah,
we had to start off a little slow this time.
That is amazing.
Yes, they get in a lot of nice pieces, and our new processes are a little bit harder for the consigner, but it's well managed and organized.
Right. Okay. That's amazing. The other thing I wanted to ask you, have you thought about renting pieces? Because now renting is like huge also in the fashion market. I mean, I use Rent the Runway a lot too. When I want designer dresses that I don't want to purchase, I'll rent them. Is that an option that you've thought about, or?
I have thought about it. However, the items not being mine, I just don't want to take that risk or headache if they come back dirty and they have to get them cleaned. Then you have to.
But what if they are your pieces? What if it's something you've already purchased for yourself, for your? Like your like your gowns, for example.
Yes.
Are those gowns on consignment or are those gowns yours?
No, they're all consignment.
Everything is on consignment.
Yes.
Okay.
Everything's consignment. But it's an idea and a thought that I would probably readdress later.
Right. Yeah. No, because I think the future is really just becoming so much more, aligned with just people not wanting to purchase so much anymore and just really reuse what they have.
Right.
And consigning and then renting, I think is a really big one as well.
It is.
What can I tell my customers about your space so they can come and see you? What is something that you really feel they should know about it?
Okay. Not only do we have 20,000 square feet of a beautiful warehouse to shop, there's 15,000 square feet of themed rooms. The Parisian seamstress is on site at all times for their needs.
Okay.
We have massages by Ben, so we have a Thai massage therapist on site. We have a scent bar that has by Miss D, exclusive scents by D, and she has all her candles and perfume oils. She can make floral arrangements. So this is all inside Designer Diva Resale.
Amazing. Yeah, I remember when I was here, she sampled a few and they were really good.
Yes, she made hand pours her own
very
candles
impressed.
And makes her own body oils.
And how often do you do fashion shows, by the way?
We in the past would do about 5 or 6 a year, and now we're gearing up. And we're gearing up, and we're going to have about probably, I know, 2 or 3.
Okay.
So now we're gearing up, and we're going to have about 2 or 3 in the upcoming months.
Awesome. And so how will people know when they're coming up? Is it on Instagram? Is it on Facebook? Where do you advertise?
Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. We send out emails through MailChimp.
Okay.
So they can sign up through the website.
So like a newsletter that they can subscribe to?
Yes, on the website, designerdivallc.com.
Okay.
So, and our address is a little tricky. I want to throw that in there.
Yes, please tell us about that.
Yeah, so it's 10707 Haddington Drive, 77043. And when you turn on Haddington Drive, you're going to go up to Stebbins Circle. It's the next street. And you'll turn right because we're on the back side of that address I gave you, the building. So the warehouse side. And we do not have our banners up any longer.
But it's pretty obvious because I think there's a lot of signs of the pretty diva girl.
There were.
I think you can follow her. Oh, I saw some. They're not anymore?
No.
Oh,
no.
okay.
Someone complained and then we had to take them down.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I'm stressing, and if you can't find it, just call 281-497-6991 and we can guide you in. But I feel that Waze and Google Maps, we may have it down to the T where it drives you right here.
Yes, by the way, that's what I've used, and it takes me exactly to the place.
Good.
So it is kind of hidden through the back, but I think once you come into the parking lot, you'll see there's a lot of blooming flowers. You will definitely notice that. That's a big theme in your place.
And the sign is on the warehouse building.
Right. I'm just so thrilled that I was able to meet you, Michelle.
Very thankful.
I love what you're doing.
Thank
you. I think that, we definitely need to keep pushing you forward, and whatever we can do as consumers, as buyers, as women concerned about, our planet, our sustainability, we definitely need to come and support you and be a part of your movement, because I think it's something you've been doing for a long time.
Yes.
And I have a sense that, it's very, very, mission and purpose driven for you, which I think is just a beautiful thing to see. A lot of businesses, are very much about, the bottom line and the profit. But for you, it really is about helping others and making sure that whatever you do is helping someone else.
Exactly. It's not
I love it.
about me living high in I do not do that. I'm a very simple person. I go to work, go home, do my errands. And this is my focus now, and is to help other women enjoy. They really will have a great time if they come here.
I love it. Thank you so much for the interview.
You for having
I
me.
appreciate you. And
Appreciate you.
ladies, we're going to come out here and we're going to meet her. Y'all need to go follow her on Instagram, follow her on Facebook. She's got so many friends on LinkedIn, by the way. I'm one of like maybe 30,000 that you have. Like, wow, I don't know anybody else that has that many, but Michelle does. And guys, when you go to her website, also don't forget to subscribe to the newsletter because she's going to be having runway shows, and you're going to be amazed at some of the great pieces you will find when you come in here. You will see that she's got some really, really great things.
Oh, and we'll also have some mixers coming up.
Oh,
our
awesome.
first one will be this month on the 24th.
Okay.
And it's Shake 'em Up. And so we're going to have some healthy shakes and some hors d'oeuvres, and some girls are putting this together. So I'll be emailing about that.
Awesome.
Yes.
So much fun. All right, everybody. If you like what you hear, if you like what we're presenting and what we're showing you, please give us a follow on Vibes by Alicia at Instagram. You can also go to Podbean and find me there. You can find me on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. You will find me all over the place, guys. Please go over there, send a review, tell us what you like. If you want to hear more of these conversations, please don't hesitate and come and visit Designer Diva, guys. Thank you so much, Michelle.
Thank you.